hiding out in our rooms, reading books that were maybe a little inappropriate.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the very special spooky edition of Who Let Me Read This, the podcast where a group of us folks discuss the inappropriate and often badly written books of our childhood and how they colored our view on the world as we grew up and went directly into therapy. Just me. That's all right. With me today are a great group of gal friends. I don't know how you're supposed to say those. But to my right, Miss Sarah Wallisch. Yay! Miss Andrea Roedel-Schroeder. Woo! And our special guest who chose our delightful book, professional dog mom, Kelsey Lexow.
Yeah, sorry about that.
I think you mean dog mummy.
I'm a mummy. There's the door.
That's my time. See you guys.
Oh my gosh.
Got a tight 5 seconds.
Oh man, delightful. So Kelsey chose our wonderful, wonderful book today for Halloween party. And last week we covered just a little chunk of the book. Kelsey, do you want to give us a quick recap?
Sure.
What's happened so far for our listeners who may not have joined us last week? Where were you?
Absolutely. When last we left our party, we had the group of kids. So there's Nikki and Terry, who are the main couple. Alex, who used to date Nikki, so there's problems there. Drama. And then there's Les, David, Angela, Trisha, and Ricky. And they're all at this Halloween party on Fear Street, super spooky. And it's in a creepy mansion hosted by Justine, who's the new mysterious girl that nobody really knows, and no one knows why they were invited. Right. So then, since the teenagers, and it's the 90s, they're formed into like these groups of jocks and wimps. So they form up teams and start this prank war to see who is the ultimate in dominance and who is the ultimate wimp, I guess.
Sure. I hate it so much.
Yep. And there's an escalating series of pranks, and then they end up going into scaring each other in the party, where Les, actually, who is part of the wimp team Les, he trumps everyone. Oh, I hate that word.
Everyone.
Thank you. Yes. He pretends to be a dead body on the floor, freaks everyone out, including his own team, and then it's a lovely moment of the jocks going, "We weren't scared. Not at all. It's totally fine. Whatever." And yet, even though there's these really sort of escalating and dangerous pranks, everyone decides to just go on with the party, because what could possibly go wrong?
Ooh.
Yeah, there's double questionable choices, because there's not only this weirdo prank war situation, but then there's Justine and her creepy surprise.
She keeps saying that. Stop
There's
it.
so many more
Surprises.
No, thank you.
Oh.
And if
I'm going to start introducing everything that ever happens at any party I ever throw as the next surprise.
There's more Tostitos. Surprise.
Oh, right. And if your first surprise is that someone was fake murdered, where are we going from here?
Right,
Yeah.
exactly.
Like pizza to murder.
Yeah. The levels are not great.
No,
it's not
no.
But pizza to murder, I'm going to use that as my next college band name.
Pizza to murder.
Awesome.
Just her pacing on her party is questionable.
Right,
I have a lot
Thank
of
you.
critiques of her pacing in general, of everything she does. Like, Homegirl needs to plan better, more effective, escalation of things.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So as we're diving into the party, so much happens in this episode, but we're going to focus on three key areas here. So the big one is that when everyone's partying, when Bobby and Marty, the local
Bobby
bullies,
and Marty.
who Justine had subbed earlier and was like, "No, you can't come to my party."
And then Terry punched one of them, didn't he? Or no, he
Not
just,
at that
postured
point.
at him.
Yeah, he was like, "Sup, bruh? Sup?"
And they went away.
Yeah.
Which, I have so many questions about these two characters and, why they're so hell-bent on going to this party that, nobody wants them at, because that sounds fun.
No chick says no to me.
Yeah, I'm
I
coming to
don't
this
know.
party whether you like it or not.
Right.
That's gonna be super great.
There's a total of 9 people at this party. Like, it's not going to be that great if you're looking for a raging kegger, which kind of sounds like these dude bras are kind of...
they are their
like,
own traveling kegger.
Exactly. Like,
So they literally crash the party by driving into the house on their motorcycles, a la Weird
That
Science.
is not up to
Right.
code.
Yeah,
That's like an 80s, 90s thing.
It-
though.
it
Like, if you wanna
totally
show that
is,
You are
yeah.
the baddest badass. You like
Yeah.
drive your motorcycle into someone's house.
right.
For sure.
The only way you could be more badass is if you were a girl and you had a helmet on, and then after you crashed through there, you took the helmet off and shook your hair. And
Like
Bad
the
to the
Wheel
Bone
Vinegar
played in the background.
So then...
Or cherry pie.
Or cherry pie.
It's a moment. Terry and Alex fight these two off, get them out of the house.
Yes.
And then they
Yes.
want to call the police like reasonable humans, but instead Justine just sends everyone on a scavenger hunt. Woo!
Yeah, like, they beat up a grown ass man.
Yes.
Like, they put
Uncle
the hurt
Phil.
on Phil.
Yes.
Poor Phil.
I know,
deserves
poor
better.
Phil. Yeah.
So then during the hunt, Nikki finds Justine's room. It's surprisingly sterile, but there's a hidden room in the back of the closet filled with fancy clothes for an older woman.
What?
And prescriptions for an Enid camera.
Yeah.
Like a lot of prescriptions.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
described as like a lot of
A
prescriptions.
lot of prescriptions, yeah.
And meanwhile, Terry is exploring the attic where he finds a dead silver prince hanging from the closet ceiling, which turns out to be just a prank from Alex.
Yeah.
Why is murder such a prank?
Also, like, is Alex just like running around in his underwear?
He's in a bathrobe. He comes out in a bathrobe and is like, "Hey, everybody!"
Wasn't that super funny? How I like convinced you all I was dead.
Dead?
David helped him with his prank.
Yes.
I just feel like
Yes.
David probably zipped him up.
Probably, yeah.
He was like, "Oh, let's get you back in your costume."
There you go. And then Justine goes to present the jocks with a prize for winning the scavenger hunt.
Right.
When the railing she's leaning on gives way and she plummets onto the couch below. Oh my goodness. There's
So wait,
right.
they stop at that point and call an ambulance and the police, right?
no. No. So everyone, while you guys are walking through this episode, please be careful of all the plot holes that you could trip on. I had
It's just
several
as hazardous
issues.
as a house.
Oh my
Literally.
goodness.
Yeah.
All right. Starting back at the beginning, our bullies on motorcycles.
Yes.
Right.
Wait.
What high schoolers like have motorcycles that are capable of driving up a staircase and
Right.
into a house?
Yeah.
They put down some plywood.
Yeah, there was a ramp.
That is
Oh,
true.
there's
There is
that
a ramp.
which
Yeah.
no one heard them
Yeah.
do.
About the ramp.
Which also they're in search of wine coolers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wine
That's
coolers.
First
That's
request
their first
is where
request.
you keep the wine
Wine
coolers.
Oh my gosh. That was not how it was in my version. It was just, don't you have something to drink? All I see is kid stuff.
They do say that in this too, and then there's like an explicit thing where they're passing around like a bottle of red wine, which
Yep.
like I hope you have Advil, kids.
Right,
'Cause, like
'cause
that's gonna
that's-
hurt tomorrow.
Yeah. Like chugging wine as like a teenager, I feel like is just a recipe
That's
for
just
disaster.
yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna say that was probably one of my worst hangovers as a teenager.
Yeah.
Not that there were a lot. But, you know.
My worst hangover was Mad Dog 2020.
Oh, nice.
Yes, ma'am.
It's
All
like
right.
the malt liquor of wine.
Yes.
Oh yeah. As we're just going down the table. You bet. Worst hangover ever.
No, I don't even. I don't want to think about it
Good
ever. I was probably red wine actually, because I definitely have made some choices and regretted them. Which I feel like that's the scene we don't see in this book is like when they drive away all defeated after Terry straight up Indiana Joneses one of their
Right.
chains that they're swinging around.
Yeah,
he, like,
they have
grabs it with
chains.
a candlestick. Yeah, Terry is a secret badass. But they like ride off.
Conveniently.
Yeah, they ride off for like 20 pages before we see them again, and that whole time was them just like puking in a gutter.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Trying to get old man Jenkins to buy them
Wine cooler.
a night duck at the Red Owl. Like,
You got any Seagrams?
here's
Bartles and James.
here's my ID. This says you're 47. Yeah.
And
I do picture them like in the quintessential teen movie of the 80s and 90s way. I picture them looking 45 for sure.
Yeah,
Oh,
well,
yeah.
but
Well, that's-
that's because
One of them is a Busey.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Jake Busey.
No, it's Gary. Gary Busey, and they like just put some pancake makeup on to like make his skin look younger.
Oh yeah.
It's Gary Busey and Nick Nolte.
So they've chased these fellas off
Yes.
super heroically.
Yes.
People are beat up. Property is damaged. Things are going wrong.
They were like wrecking the house.
Yeah.
They were like flipping
Absolutely.
tables.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, opening
Terry-
cabinets
yeah.
and throwing things on the ground.
Terry and David at this point are bleeding
Yes.
from
Philip
fighting.
just got like the shit kicked out of him.
Yes.
Yeah.
And my inner homeowner is like, well, they didn't open that door. They certainly burst through it. So
Exactly.
that frame's
So
gonna
that
need
frame's
replacement.
gone.
Oh, God, that's expensive. Yeah. And so should we call the police at this point?
Yes.
No.
What?
No, but there's a scavenger hunt.
Oh, okay. I'm on board now.
Right. Also, because Justine says they're all swagger and no substance, but they did actually show up and beat people up.
Yeah,
with
they just
weapons.
rode into your home.
Swinging some chains.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's like level 2 assault.
Yep.
Yeah.
I assume they brought these chains with them.
Yeah.
They came planning to do damage and damage people.
Yeah.
No, they're all
Like-
swagger. All swagger.
swagger.
That's just
All
swagger.
swagger.
It's
No
yeah.
problem. Let's just do the scavenger.
It's
hunt.
90s swagger. 90s
I
swagger.
really
It's
can't
fine.
blame her because the scavenger hunt is like my absolute favorite part of this entire nonsense book.
yeah.
Like because there's
pretty
like
great.
tarantulas in toilet tanks and like stuffed snakes in cabinets.
And they're like go everywhere in our house.
Yeah, like
Nothing is off
dig
limits.
through every.
Yes.
Yeah.
Please.
I love it. I'm a nosy bitch and I love it.
Now, as an introvert, that's like 7 levels of hell for me. Like if I
Someone else's house,
Absolutely.
Someone coming to my house, and no.
no.
But like, you want me to go through your medicine cabinet?
Yeah.
Yeah, sure, go
You
ahead.
want me to look in your closet? You want me to try on your clothes? Because I'll do it.
This book
And
was
she-
clearly written before there was a large opioid problem in this country.
kidding.
They're like, yeah, go ahead, just look through the medicine cabinet.
It's fine.
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah.
And she starts this by ringing a bell, which like I
a little
love the
silver
drama. Yes.
Thank you, Justine. Amazing.
Turns out this whole thing is just like a part of a like secret ritual.
Yes.
She like rings the bell to start it and like summoning demons.
Yes.
So now
wish.
Terry's exploring. Justine is off. She's found, or sorry, Nikki is off. She's found Justine's room. She's digging through her shit. Super fun. Terry's gone up to the attic, just abandoning his significant other in high school, which never happens. You are glued to each other. It's just how it is.
Yeah.
And that's where they find the dead body hanging in the closet.
Yeah.
The silver prince.
By his cape.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, cape.
By his
Yeah.
cape.
Cape.
He does have a cape.
Cape. So Terry runs into David, and they both go to Philip and the others for help. Again, not the police. No. Let's just find an
They
adult.
have that conversation first. They're like, we should call the police. No, let's go to Philip first, or at least let Philip know what's going on.
Philip's nursing a head wound, you guys. Like, Philip's not a good person
He
to,
just
like...
got his ass kicked.
And, actually, looking back on it, all 3 of these people that have found this body have head wounds at this point. So none of them are thinking clearly, because David also got beaten up by the bikers. So, like, no one should be making decisions at this point.
No.
But they convince everyone to run back upstairs, and it turns out it's just a dummy in a silver prince costume. With a bunch of red cellophane stuck on it to simulate blood.
Right.
I've never
Which,
been
I mean,
fooled by that.
Hey, better than the mannequin head covered in ketchup?
Yeah, no kidding.
Yes, that's right.
That's
Which,
right.
like, that's got to be a journey for your nose.
Oh, God.
Yeah, you can't fool me with that one.
Right.
Like, why does it smell like ketchup? Ketchup smells very different from blood.
It does.
Little known
different.
fact.
Don't try this at home.
Hits you in a different taste bud.
So the group all runs upstairs to look at the dead body that's in the closet, and then Alex just jumps out in a bathrobe.
Yeah.
That was me.
Right? And tells the group,
Surprise.
he just wanted to distract everyone so the jocks could win the scavenger hunt.
Wait, no. Jocks are bad, right? This is the 90s. Jocks are bad.
It depends on what team you're on.
I suppose, yeah.
There's really no winning
really
in this
sure.
one.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean,
Jocks are bad, but so is everyone else. Like the
everyone
90s kind of, the 90s loved a nice guy.
less. Team less.
Team less. I feel like Terry in this is the nice guy.
Yeah, but is
Whose team we're supposed to be on, who's not really that nice of a guy.
Yeah, like he tugs his girlfriend around like she's a dog.
Yep.
Come here,
Grabbed
dummy.
her and pulled her gently.
Yeah.
Right. While eyeing up Justine.
Yeah, tells her to stop eating so they can dance.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then she's like, "You're right. I should probably stop eating anyway." Like, girl, no.
No, you shouldn't. You should eat all the things that you want to eat.
Enjoy that stuff. You're going to be doing some cardio, hauling up and down those stairs for that scavenger hunt. You need to carbo load.
And the
Exactly.
crazy dancing.
Yes, and the crazy dancing plague party.
Dancing.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. All right, we're going to dive back into that in just a second after our word from our awesome sponsors, sexyhackers.com. We'll be right back.
sexyhackers.com.
And we're back with our very special Halloween street party. Fear Street. Fear Street Halloween party. Spooky edition.
Did you have some wine coolers, Laura?
You joined Bobby and
no
Marty.
adult drinks at this party. Because Uncle Philip clearly states that he does not keep alcohol in the house.
No.
And then they immediately find a bottle of red wine.
Yeah.
Right.
Uncle Phil's like,
I mean, but good on Uncle Phil for like being a responsible adult at a high school party.
Yeah.
Right.
Because
he's not a fun
I
uncle.
know
He's a
whole
regular
lot
uncle.
of- yeah, he's not a fun uncle. Yeah, at least
dear.
he's not. At least they're drinking in the house.
Oh boy.
So last we left, Alex had surprised us all by not being a dead body. Just turned out to be a distraction.
Just a regular body.
So the
Surprised
jocks
us.
could win the scavenger hunt. And Justine goes to present them all for a prize for winning the scavenger hunt. And she falls through the railing and plummets onto a couch, which doesn't really sound that bad. Then she's really upset. She feels the party is ruined. Philip is more upset because the railing's clearly been cut, which no one noticed.
Right.
And someone was trying to injure his niece, though it could have been anyone on
Right.
that railing.
yeah.
They just told people to go.
He
all
only
over their
cares.
house.
Yeah,
Right.
like he only cares if Justine is injured. Obviously, all of this other like pretends he's murder and like physical harm. That's all fine.
And the two other teens with head wounds. Whatever.
no.
It's fine.
All
The
totally
broken front
okay.
door.
So it's fine.
It's fine.
Great. Thanks, Uncle Phil. Yep. And then Justine's just really upset that no one's having a good time now.
Right.
Which, like,
I
you
mean-
designed this party to be the opposite of fun. It sounds so stressful.
Also, like, you just fell off a balcony and like hurt yourself. Who cares if anyone's having a good time?
Well, she's
Like, get me an ice pack.
she's a consummate 90s hostess. The show must go on.
There's more. Surprises.
So
You made it weird.
Justine made it weird.
one of her bizarre surprises is fast dancing, which I noticed from our notes we all have a lot of feelings on.
Yes. Anytime,
like- More dancing. Faster.
Fast.
I'm going to put on the fastest song for you to dance to.
Let's see if you can really dance fast.
yeah.
Because she introduces it as a ritual from the Middle Ages.
She talks. She talks about
like anytime you're at a party and the dancing plague comes up, like either it's the best party ever or the worst one. There's a literal thing that happened where like a town ate some fungus, I think.
Yep, in France, 1500s.
And, a bunch of people just literally danced until they
died.
died. They straight up died. You know, a fun vibe for your party.
You want to bring that up. And so then she goes and loads in a tape.
Yes.
So much tape changing.
She has tapes and some really excellent CDs. She makes a point of her excellent CDs.
That's how you can tell she's got money, because she's got CDs in the 90s.
Slow roll.
There's 4. She owns the 4 CDs
4
that
CDs
exist.
in the town.
It was Real McCoy, Enya.
Yes.
God, I love it.
Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Red Hot, yes.
Oh no, these were just my CDs. Sorry.
I'm trying to think.
And Green Day.
1990 though, like 1990 would be like maybe New Kids on the Block.
Yeah.
Depending, where in the 90s.
There'd be
like
some
early
sort of
90s.
electro
Like
house,
89, 90.
Yes.
like
their big
CNC
year.
Music Factory
Yes. Oh,
is in there
Definitely
somewhere.
CNC Music Factory.
Yes.
Marky Mark and the Funky Bunch. Man. So they're fast dancing. They're fast dancing so much that Terry at one point notices he's dancing with a boy. And it's a big exclamation point.
Yes.
He could not resist the frog man.
Who among us can honestly say that we could resist the frog
No
man?
one can resist the frog man.
Yeah. But it's okay. Yeah. It's okay because
Is there
everyone's
also
having a great
strobe
time.
lights happening at this point?
I think so.
Yes.
Very fast dancing.
Very
and
fast
strobe
dancing
lights.
and strobe
They had to
lights.
sign a waiver, like when you go into a haunted house. Like, do you have a history of seizures?
Right?
Yeah, but there's no warning.
This was the 90s, so
Yeah,
no one
just-
cared.
yeah.
They were
This
like,
is
if
true.
you die, you die.
You die, it's fine.
The 90s. They're amazing.
I mean, yeah, it's so 90s in the fact that these 9 teenagers have parents that are just like, yeah, go to an all-night Halloween party at someone's house that you've never met before, and I have no idea who they are.
On Fear
That's
Street,
fine.
which everyone in our town knows is bonkers.
Yeah,
Yeah.
demons live there. It's fine. Go, it's fine.
I mean,
Have a good time,
Make
hon.
good choices.
not to plant the seed, but we do establish that their parents perhaps don't have a great history of
Choices.
making.
That's true.
So,
Questionable. I mean, so I think of parties from when I was younger, things like that. So I'm from a very small town, so we partied in fields.
Sure.
Like good, you know, country kids that we did. And you lied to your parents about where you were going, and you said you were spending the night at a responsible friend's house, right? Is that not the standard?
That is very standard.
From what I understand, I didn't party. No, like I didn't. I was always at like rehearsal or stuff. So I didn't. Plus my dad was a cop at that point. So if my brother or I got busted, it was like,
you were in a whole different kind of 90s movie.
yeah.
So were kids scared to party with you then? 'Cause
Oh
your
yeah,
dad
we
was
didn't.
a cop?
Yeah, we didn't party.
Kelsey
My brother
was never
partied,
invited
but I
to
didn't
anything.
party. Yeah, no. Nope.
Like, I partied, but they were weird parties.
Oh.
Like, okay, you know the Ermagerd, Gersperm,
Yeah.
the girl with the like pigtails and the
Yeah,
goosebumps books. Arl Stein. That, I don't know if you know the story about that meme. It's just like, that was just dressing up and making these weird characters and taking pictures was just like what her and her friends did.
Sure.
And so, like, that's one of the like weirdo characters that her and her friends came up with, and it like it blew up into this huge meme.
Goals.
Right? And
Hashtag
then that was
goals.
the kind of parties my friends and I had.
Nice.
Yeah.
we were doing stuff like that where like my friend whose house we always had parties at won best parties in the senior superlative thing. And everyone in our class was like, wait, what?
Yeah.
Like, what? Huh? Because everyone who had ever been to a party at her house was like, it was hilarious and amazing. And that was apparently enough people to like beat out all the keggers.
Sure.
I
mean,
love it.
Yeah, the only cast parties I went to in high school were cast parties.
Yeah.
So it was just a lot of massage train and like there's always at least 2 girls crying in the corner
God,
and
our
like
cast parties were like, let's all make out for fun.
oh no
So much making out.
no we
Every snooty mom in my hometown, I'm like, I made out with your daughter.
nice.
Oh man. See, and I had like
Nice.
similar parties to Sarah. Like I had a reputation as like the child who you had to search for like contraband VHS tapes. I gave one friend 3 different VHS tapes of Scream. I'm so sorry, Mrs. Vandenberg. Yeah, it was that. Like, it was a lot of, like, watching movies that none of their parents would have allowed them to watch.
Scream.
There's a fantastic photo set of one particularly wild Friday where we all did our makeup like The Crow, and I did tarot readings for everyone.
Awesome. I
As
want to go.
mentioned, like,
Right? You're like,
It was
can we
just
do
a
that
creep.
tonight?
Let's
That sounds
creep.
fun.
What are y'all doing later?
Crazy makeup or like, you know, outrageous makeup, and then like we'll go for a walk around your neighborhood
Yes.
at 3 a.m. and
yes, we'll go to the playground and scare all the children. Like,
Who are
That
not
sounds
there.
amazing.
Yeah.
3 a.m.
Yeah.
is literally
exactly.
just you.
Yeah. Like somebody's like taking out their garbage for the next day and is like, what are these what's happening right now?
Oh, Harold, call the police. The hooligans.
So much from my youth was just focused on just trying to shock the small town people who just didn't give a fuck what you were doing. Yeah. They were like, granted, I'm, from a crazy small town where like you got spit on for thinking and, heaven forbid if you were gay. Run. But most of the time, nobody cared. No one cared what you were doing. We're just weirdos. I probably would have identified more with the bullies in high school because they were... most of the kids at that party were the popular kids, right? Whether they were jocks or wimps, they were the popular ones.
Yeah. Wimps is just like anybody who isn't explicitly a jock.
Yeah. Like, they still seem like pretty popular kids. Yeah. But my challenge...
Except for Les.
Yeah.
I'm Team Les all the way because Les would have been my buddy.
Yeah, I would have been friends with Les. Actually, I probably would have been friends with Ricky because I was still a cool girl at that point.
Sure. But I had my WTF moment for this, and it was terrible. Again, this is just a logistics thing. They ride in on their motorcycles, they swing their chains around, and all of the like decoration cutouts, they made it sound like they were just like snapped off and fall to the ground. I went, that's not what would have happened. They would have tangled. Yeah. And that's all I can picture is he whips his chain around and it just tangles up the decorations. And now he's trying to like throw his chain around with a bunch of like
paper bats.
Yeah, like paper bats. And jack-o'-lanterns tangled up to it. I'm like, I can't see you as threatening because now you're just like,
I didn't think this through.
Yeah, that was
tangled on my. It's just like one of them hits him in the face. Yep. He's got a little paper cut on his nose now.
It's like one of those lollipops covered with a tissue, and that's how you make a ghost out of it. Yeah. Oh, so that was my the fuck moment from this episode. Yeah. Anyone else? Your WTF?
Mine is like the specificity of the hiding places and like what was hidden in them. Like one kid found a tarantula like encased in like glass or whatever in the toilet tank.
Right.
Like
I will never.
Was it in a bag?
And in the how? Tank?
Yeah. What is the impetus behind that?
Yeah. That kid was going to do a double decker.
Yeah, and just like that nobody thinks it's weird that there's just like all of these bananas items. Like there's a stuffed snake, there's like a pendant shaped like a knife.
Hunt.
Yeah, like it's just weird. And like there's a full-size coffin and like just like
or a refreshment table.
I just got a coffin in my house.
I mean, you don't?
I mean,
I wish. I would totally have a coffin in my house.
Yeah, her decor is just like my dream goals.
Oh, yeah. Like, yeah. And there's a mummy in the coffin, and she's just so blasé about it. She's like, oh, yeah, we picked that up on our trips to Egypt. Wait, like you grave robbed? And then stole national...
I want that movie. I want the movie of them like acquiring all of these strange items. Like,
it's just her surfing eBay.
Oh, man.
I had a big WTF about her closet and how very specific they were about what was in the closet.
Yes.
Can I read?
Yes.
Can I read
yes.
a segment? I always like to come with something to read. The hidden closet was jammed with clothing, but clothing very different from the everyday clothes she had seen. At first, she thought they might be very old clothes left by the people who had lived in the Cameron mansion before. Sure. But when she took a few off the hangers, she saw that they were new, many of them with labels from expensive designers and famous department stores in New York, San Francisco, and Paris.
My.
There were beautiful woolen suits, shiny satin cocktail dresses, colorful skirts and jackets in sophisticated styles that no one she knew would wear.
Sophisticated for the 90s.
Uh-huh. A chrome rack on the floor held dozens of beautiful high-heeled shoes in every type of leather and every color of the rainbow.
Like kitten.
Right? Like type of leather, like snake
alligator,
skin, alligator,
hippo,
suede.
Yeah.
The back of the closet revealed 3 beautiful full-length formal gowns and 2 fur coats, 1 mink and 1 fox.
How does she know the difference?
Nikki has. I mean,
Nikki is secretly like.
there is the throwaway
super
line
fashionista.
about like how she like in her room she's comparing her room to Justine's.
right.
And she's talking about
Yeah.
how like, well, my room shows that I'm into fashion because I have a sewing machine and magazines.
Yeah.
So clearly she like studies.
Yeah.
intensely.
But also, she initially looks in the closet and is like, "Are these old from someone a long time ago? Oh no, wait, they're brand new."
yeah.
There's no way that you can make that mistake in 1990. Like
Yeah.
1990s Hammer dresses, like MC Hammer, Go-Go girls, Fly Girls dresses, they don't look like a shirtwaist from the 1890s, which is like the last time someone lived in that house before them.
And especially with Nikki's great eyesight that she had developed to make up for her
Exactly.
deafness.
Just picturing laser eyes.
Her Bruce Banner vision.
So now Justine has fallen through the railing, you know, and she's injured herself. So at this point, do we call the police?
No.
Why would we do such a thing?
We're just going to continue on with the party next week on Who Let Me Read This. That's right. Thank you very much to our special guest today, Miss Kelsey Lexow. Yay! Thanks for having Andrea Roedel-Schroeder. Miss Sarah Wallisch. And I'm Laura Holterman, and thank you very much to sexyhackers.com for giving us this sweet space to talk about this ridiculous book, R.L. Stine's Halloween Party. We'll see you guys next week.
Next Wednesday.
Next Wednesday.
Yes.
sexyhackers.com Stream Team.